everyone, thank you for tuning in to Triple Aqua from the West, Key West that is. I'm Mermaid Christy Ann. Thank you so much for joining me today and hitting the play button on my YouTube channel. So today I want to talk to everyone about how easy it is to figure out what you want to do with your life. What do you want to be when you grow up? And oddly enough, it is something that your inner child knows the best. And I know that sounds kind of awkward. You're a grown-up, why would your inner child know? Well, your inner child knows what makes you happy, what your passions are, where your desires lie, without a very non-judgment, bias approach to things. So I'll give you a little example. What I do now in my life is a little different today, just like all of us here on the planet. We're all adjusting a little bit. Not everyone was working from home, so some of us it's still business as usual, but for the majority of us things are different and they have changed. And we are wondering, what can we do with this time? What can we do with our lives? What can we do just to maybe create something new or go after that dream, that desire that we have inside? And a lot of people have been contacting me and calling me. When I say a lot of people, about a handful. You know, Christy, you're always full of like good ideas. You know, what should I do? Or I'm really worried, or this has me, you know, with sleepless nights. And so I asked them questions. You know, I asked them, obviously I know what they do currently, but I asked them questions about what they liked to do when they were a kid. What made them happy? What were their passions? Like, what were things that they did, you know, when they were 7 or under, or even 10 and under, and before they had to be responsible and go and get jobs or just focus on school. And it's interesting enough because they will tell me a lot of different things, and because of I'm listening to what they're saying, what they do now, and then I ask them what their hobbies are or what they like today. And it's really simple because they really didn't need me. They could have gone inside and asked for these answers, basically from source, from God, or even their Akashic library. And I've talked about that in a previous video, what the Akashic library is. So you have to, I'm not sure if I didn't title it that, but you have to scroll back or just Google it, Google Akashic library. So we have this beautiful gift, and it's our inner knowing, and we are able to tap into this at any time. But we always let our logical mind control our intuition, and the healthy way is to find a balance between mind, body, and soul, so that you're able to balance those out and you're able to kind of like be in two worlds at one time. You know, you don't want to be so heavenly good that, you know, so heavenly that you're no earthly good, and no earthly good that you're no heavenly good. So you want to find that nice balance in between. So if you're struggling now today with what can I do now, what is my future going to look like, you know, maybe you know at this point, you know, I was talking to someone this morning, a family member, and you know they don't need that their company doesn't need them to work that job anymore, so things have changed radically for that person. And but you're able to you're able to use that time. And I know it sounds very, very optimistic, but I was listening to someone say the other day, and it was an astronaut, you know, there's not one astronaut that's not optimistic. So think to yourself, what can I do now? What were my interests when I was a little child? What made me happy? And the reason I say that is because what I do today obviously is a little different, because I'm in the same boat as everyone else. But what I was doing before this all broke out, and before I started to go forward with this YouTube channel that I've been nudged to do for the last 2 years and been putting it off, I am a professional mermaid, and I have a retail, I had a retail boutique, now online store, but I put on a mermaid festival. And people always ask, you know, how did you get into that? Those are the questions that writers or reporters or bloggers will ask me. How did you get into that? Well, It's easy for me because that's what I love to do as a child. As a child, I learned to swim before I can walk or talk. So we were always in the beach, we were always at the pool, in the canal. Anytime we were able to be around water, I mean, if you're from Key West, you remember the old Key Western, which was a brackish pool, and we lived there, you know, most weekends, and that's basically what we did. I was waterlogged as a child, so I always loved the ocean. I loved to swim. I learned how to dive with tanks when I was 4, and, you know, certified as a diver at 15. And so I've just grown up around the water and always had that imagination, you know, ooh, what if mermaids were real, you know? And to me, I was never worried about any sharks in the water or anything like that. I was just always excited. Maybe I'll see a mermaid, you know, growing up as a child. And so that kind of just never went away. And, you know, life got in the way later on as I grew. But that was always a passion of mine, the ocean, the water, the swimming, taking care of the ocean, you know, not polluting it. And things will always come back full circle because, again, that is that passion that you have inside of you of what you like to do as a child. So if you are stuck right now and you're not sure exactly where your life is taking you, what you can do with your time, think about what you were good at when you were a kid. What made you happy? What was like the one thing that you just wanted to do all the time and you can just do it for hours on end? You know, one of my great aunts, it was about 4 or 5, maybe even 6 years ago. We were at another great aunt's house, and she said, when I was telling her what I did and the business I started, and it actually was in 2013. And when I started, and when I first opened up the first retail, the Captain's Mermaid boutique, and she said, do you know, Christy, when you were a little girl, I used to take you to the beach, and you would just collect shells for hours and hours and hours on the shore. And I looked at her and I said, nothing's changed, Theophili. And nothing had changed, because that was something that I kept close to my heart, close to my chest, because it was important to me. And even today, when I go to ground myself, I love to go anywhere where there's ocean. If there's not ocean, anywhere where there's water. Just that tranquility to me is important. And at times I even need the salt water, even though I'm born and raised here, so my blood is really thin and I don't like to go swimming in the ocean until May at least. I love to get grounded, so I'll take my shoes off and just walk on the edge of the beach or the edge of the ocean, or just stick them in the water wherever I can. And my sister Tally's the same way. Whenever she comes from Phoenix, because she's a landlocked mermaid now, whenever she comes in from Phoenix, the first thing she does, she'll like disappear. And we're like, where is she? I mean, even whether she's here in Key West, she'll go find a beach, the closest way, and she'll just go sit there for hours by herself and meditate. If we're in Miami, where, you know, my dad's house is in Hialeah, and she'll be gone. All of a sudden, I'm in South Beach. She'll go drive her car all the way to South Beach just to get grounded by the ocean. And those are the things that are important to her. And yeah, so look back, think, where were your passions? Because where you are passionate at something, you can make a living. And it's so true for so many people that have actually put this practice and manifested it, and then it has come into fruition. So wherever your passions lie, know that you can make a living doing it. Even if it sounds crazy to the rest of the world, even if it sounds like you have cotton between your ears, do it. Because your passions aren't going to lie to you, and no one knows the matters of your own heart. So you'll have, unfortunately, sometimes it's your friends and your family members, and you know, they won't be very supportive, and that's okay, because they might not understand, or they might just be worried about you, that you're going to make the wrong decision and they don't want you to. But if you do need that support other than Source, God, your higher power, then find the people that will support you. And it doesn't mean that you have to cut everybody else off, but sometimes you do need to find your group, your people that are vibing at the same frequency that you're vibing at. Because even though we have our family and our friends, sometimes they're not at the same energy frequency when it comes to your passions, when it comes to your, you know, your career or what you want to do. Because as an adult, you want to be happy in a job. If not, what happens is we get stuck and we're in that rut for a while, and we do it because we have bills to pay, we have a family to take care of, we need to be responsible. But God wants us to be happy, and He wants you to make a living and while you're happy, because everyone knows that if you're happy at your job, you're more productive. And then it doesn't feel like a job. It just feels like something that you do every single day and you're excited to do it. You know, when I was little, my mom used to say that I used to take all my new stuff to bed with me. I was so excited, and I remember like getting up in the morning and thinking, oh, something's different, something's new. Why am I so excited? And then I would remember, oh yeah, I have that new thing, that new toy, those new shoes. I mean, I think it was shoes I used to take to bed, she said. And get that excitement back. Get that feeling that when you wake up in the morning, you're like, wow, what's different in my life? You know, what is it that I have to look forward to? Because when you have a job that you enjoy, you get up every day and you look forward to going. And it's not monotonous, and it's not that old ball and chain, or like you feel like you have a pit bull attached to your neck. If you're watching Mr. Whipple, I got that from you. So, but yeah, tap into your inner child. Ask your God, your guides, your angels, your ancient ancestors, that their DNA courses through your veins, that they pass down that information to you through light codes, through automatic downloads. And we've talked about that before. I've talked about that in one of the previous videos, how you can ask for information and get it sometimes instantaneously. So go inside. We have plenty of time now. Meditate, think about it, ask questions. You will get the answers, I promise you. As long as it's coming from a genuine place, you are really, really open to it, you will receive the answers that you need to go forward and live that passionate life that you've always wanted to live. And don't look at what everyone else is doing, because everyone's journey is different. Go inside, because your journey is yours alone, and no one knows the matters of your heart but you. So with that, since we are talking about ancient ancestors, asking Source, God, Jesus, higher power, whomever you believe in, no judgment, as long as it comes from a divine place, then I'd like to pull from this, the Akashic Tarot. One of my favorite, with the thickest cardstock on the planet, so hard to shuffle. But yeah, you know, you'll find out too, you know, once you do pursue that inner childhood passion for a job, how many doors will open up, because it's what you were meant to do the entire time. And then it's like an umbrella full, like, with possibilities all underneath it. It's endless, because it comes from your own inner creativity. That's a gift from God, from Source. And you will be able to do so much with that. And it's amazing. I talked to a friend about, you know, this past month, or was it last month or this month? I can't even remember. The days are just mixing in, like, you know, you all know what I mean. And it was interesting because she did a spin-off of some of her artwork that she's doing now, and created a new item, and it's really doing well for her. And it's just, sometimes you need to go in and see whatever that passion was, and maybe it's not going to be exactly that, but it'll be a spin-off of what that passion is to you, and how important it is, and how happy it makes you. And then you're able to build that job, that career, that lasting job, basically, or lasting career, that's going to bring you nothing but fulfillment and happiness. And most of all, creativity. It's going to keep you on your toes. It's going to keep you happy. It's going to keep you creating. And that's what we're here for. We're here to create. We're here to create good things. We're here to create, to help other people, to show other people how to be creative, since we are all interconnected. And I talked about that in one of my last videos. And if we don't know that by now, well, then you're really living under a rock. because we are all interconnected. Ooh, there it goes. We'll take that one. Oh, we have two. Okay, so what are these? Oh, perfect. Ooh, we have three, even better. This is great. This is so great. Okay, so the first one is a 7 of keys, which means ascend. So ascend, take yourself to the next level. Get up there, you know, like when you go into your inner child, you're basically looking at things from the tallest point because you're going within and you're ascending and you are leveling up. And that's basically what this is. When you follow your dreams and your passion, you're leveling up. You're not scared to climb that mountain, to take that, you know, go on that, reach that peak on that summit because you've done the work. And it's all there. You've had all the tools that you needed the entire time to reach the top. You just have to go inside and do the inner work. So that is a beautiful card. I love it. Look at him, he's just up there admiring his hard work and dedication and be like, wow, I made it, I did it. So that's a really good feeling to have. So then the next card, this is great, is the Karmic Trench. What is karmic? Well, it's karma, which are lessons. Don't get stuck in that karmic trench doing the same thing over and over and over, and it's like basically Groundhog's Day every day. You don't want to do that because that's going to keep you from the last card, which is brilliant. God is always on time. He's always right. It's called Birth, from that rebirth. And look at that. There's little children at play, having fun, being passionate, not worrying, just hand in hand. And this is what we're talking about, that inner child, you know, birthing something new from your inner child. This couldn't have been more perfect. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're enjoying this YouTube channel. I hope you will share with your friends. I hope you will like. And if you really want to see more, subscribe. I'm trying to do this every day, but I only do this when I feel that I'm being nudged and I have a message to give, a channeled message. So thank you again. And remember, always keep swimming towards your dreams. Bye.